Welcome to the Home Goals podcast. This podcast contains themes of an adult nature, therefore it's suitable for anyone over the age of 18. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to Home Goals podcast number 4. Today we're welcomed by a few special guests and we're going to talk about Doncaster Rovers Football Club, and then we're going to link it into our community provision and Fit Rovers as well. So I'm joined by Nick Gillett again, and the other two gentlemen who need no introduction at all, Tim Ryan and Jan Budtz. Fellas, would you just do us a little bit of an intro for maybe people, non-football fans who are watching, and tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll start with you, Tim.
Tim Ryan. I've played nearly 300 games for Doncaster Rovers. Had a couple of spells. First spell when I came, I was a real young lad, really, to be fair. I was like 20-year-old, learning the game. And then I came back about 2.5 years later, went on to play, again, like I say, nearly 250 games in the second spell, and gaining 2 promotions, lucky at getting out of the conference, and then going the year after winning League 3, which it was then, which it still is, obviously. And then after leaving Doncaster, I had a short stint at Peterborough, and then followed Dave Penny, which was the old Doncaster manager, obviously. Followed him up to Darlington.
Well, thank you. And then same to you, Jan.
Well, how do you follow that? Do you know what I mean? How do you follow a legend, a true legend?
Hall of Famer.
BA. Now, I came to Donny in 2005, so I basically playing football for FC Nordsjælland back in Denmark. Played in a reserve team game, I think, on a Tuesday night, and there was a guy called Mickey Walker over from England, from Rovers, and he did a bit of scouting. Went around my business as usual, and a couple of weeks later I had a phone call from Doncaster Rovers inviting me over for a trial. Flew over, spent a week with the lads, Tim included, and we went to Newcastle and played a game behind closed doors. Played all 90 minutes, managed to save a penalty. Went back to Denmark, continued with playing for Nordsjælland, and then suddenly got another phone call saying we want to sign you on a 2-year deal. So literally just moved from family and friends in Denmark, settled down in Rovers. Obviously played a few games for them, including probably a cup run that most people can remember against City, Villa, and Arsenal. And then I went on a little stint with Wolverhampton, Oldham, and Hartlepool United. So.
And we can see from your matching gear, Jan, that your Doncaster's now a place that you call home, and we'll come on to that a little bit later. And I'd just like to apologise as well, Tim. The hair and makeup budget didn't stretch to yours, so we sent him to Jan's house.
I'll just
he always looks so good. No, only joking. You look lovely as well, Tim.
I think you're only a couple of haircuts behind me, Scott.
No, I am. Well, that's why I'm saving them during lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as Scott sort of alluded to, Jan's still wearing the Club Doncaster gear. Both of you sort of played football for Doncaster, then moved on to clubs after that, but then both found yourself back at the foundation. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how you ended up coming back and what role you did?
Yeah, well, I can kick it off. Well, my background from Denmark is originally social work, so I took a degree in social work before even contemplating starting playing amateur football or professional football. So I kind of always knew that when my football career would come to an end in England, that I would go down that route. Now, I think I was playing at Gainsborough Trinity at the time, and
no, you were Stalybridge. You were Stalybridge with us.
Oh, Stalybridge, and Liam Scully, the old CEO, and Eric Randerson had me in for just a very informal chat, and they were looking at starting up a social inclusion department within the foundation, and asked if I wanted to be part of that. So I said, yeah, why not? And now 7 years later, and I've been involved for 7 years, and obviously, yeah, as Scott just alluded to, it's home for me now, the foundation and the club. So yeah, very, very, very happy here, and that's it. That's the story, really.
Timothy?
Yeah, mine. Obviously, I was from Stockport originally, and the second spell when I came to Doncaster, the second spell, I bought a house met my girlfriend at the time and kids and everything like that. So it's obviously home for me now as well. Going back to when I joined the foundation was after playing, I was always sort of looking to go into the coaching side of it. And it was something I wanted to do, managing, coaching and all that sort of stuff. So I was at Staley Bridge where obviously took Jan with us. We needed a little bit of experience in the goals at the time. I think I was about 37. I think Jan was about 34, 33, 34. So we travelled together then, and obviously we've had a really good bond, since then over the years. And I did very similar. I asked Jan who was it really to get into contact with the foundation, and it was obviously Liam was at the helm at the time, which I knew Liam from being a ball boy, a coach and building his way up to being CEO. So I got in contact with Liam and sort of said, is there any sort of coaching in and around anything like that to sort of get my teeth into? So he said, come in and have a chat. So I went in and had a chat, and I started doing the school program. I've done the NCS again with Jan, and I did a number of jobs and finished up doing the college side in the foundation. So realistically, I've done a lot of the jobs throughout the foundation and thoroughly enjoyed every single one of them.
And you've recently taken up another role away. You've moved away again. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
The opportunity came up, the full-time coaching side of it, and Dave Penny is the sporting director now at York City. So a job came up to do the youth team, which is the under-19s, obviously, at York City. So I went and had a chat. I went and watched a couple of games with Dave and had a look at the situation with York. And it was something that I really, really wanted to do. So when the opportunity came to take the youth team role at York City, it was one of them ones where it was with a heavy heart, really, to break my ties again with Doncaster, but it was an opportunity that I couldn't really give up.
Is the Beast still playing at York City, Tim?
John?
Yeah.
No, the end of last season, his contract was up, and I think John knew. I think he's 37, 38 at the time. Great lad as well, brilliant lad, and one of table tennis partner of mine as well. But I think he knew at the time, and I think just briefly with John, I think he's gone on to the podcast now, and he's looked away from football, which he's doing really well in.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were going to get off the back of this, if you were going to get an invite onto his slightly more subscribed podcast. I bet.
So linking it Rovers then, Coach, do you want to sort of give people a bit of an outline of how it came about and what it is?
Yes. So the Fit Rovers programme started with male-only provision in January 2017. Starting from nothing really as a concept in Doncaster. We've got experience delivering similar programmes in other areas, but we had to try and sell it basically to men of Doncaster and football fans of Doncaster Rovers. So the links with Tim and Jan working for the foundation and being ex-Doncaster Rovers footballers just fit perfectly for us. We knew the type of people they were and that they're dead approachable and easy to get along with. And for the people that we're targeting, being Doncaster fans as well, they should remember the games that you guys played. And yeah, I mean, I can remember you posing for us with us new created T-shirts on and things like that. And throughout the years, we've done a few challenges head-to-heads between you, haven't we? And obviously that's progressed. And at the moment, we've got something going on which has got you both involved again. So yeah, I mean, it were a perfect fit for us. Hopefully for you guys as well, it's been something that's been worthwhile and something that I know I can see you've enjoyed doing. But yeah, starting with Tim, kind of thinking back, Tim, to what's your experience been of, some of the guys, don't you, from personal life and things that have been on Fit Rovers? Yeah,
when obviously yourself and Nick asked me to sort of, be involved, and it was something really, obviously not only just working with you two was a good laugh as well, but it was something that we could really give into the community. And I think with the age group of the supporters that started I know they're going slightly younger at the time now, but at the time they were more 30 plus supporters that have been to Bellevue and watched me and, really appreciated me more, for watching me play. So to get a sort of personal relationship and get close with them sort of supporters was brilliant. Main thing I used to say when we had the meetings in the common room, and not only is it brilliant for your lifestyle and, your eating habits and all that sort of stuff, I was sort of saying I was selling to everybody as a social event. It was like, our sort of age group, going back to youth clubs, building friendships with people you might not have done in other areas, and getting out there with other people that you might not have done. And it's obviously, credit to you two, it's obviously blossomed, gone massive scale now, where it's covering a good area of Doncaster.
Yeah. On last week's podcast, we spoke with Kirsty about the big involvement from the club and the support from the players and things like that. But equally, like I said, the support of ex players has been just as influential to some of our participants. And we'll go on and speak about the event that's going on at the minute and the kind of head-to-heads that we've thrown you two into. But it's providing memories and probably opportunities for some people that they never even thought they would have. Jan, same for you really. I can remember us sort of rolling you out as a player performance at one of the early player appearance. Sorry, at one of the earlier sessions.
I just can't believe that it was in January 2017. I mean, it seems like yesterday. Time has just flown, but I think I was probably as nervous as the participants those first couple of times we met in the common room. I mean, there's a bit of no one really, as you allude to, Scott. It was a concept, wasn't it? We didn't really know it was going to grow to the size it's grown to today. So it's a kind of a trial and error. And I can remember one of the days we just met in the common room and I sat on the sofa. And Tim and I, both fairly approachable, playing a bit of snooker and a bit of dart with some of the lads, just trying to crack. Table tennis. So yeah, I beat you a few times, Tim. I remember that. So it was just mad to think that the first time we met in that common room and we're all really shy, not really speaking, to then end of the course 12 weeks later, it's just like a family. And that's the feeling I get throughout Club Doncaster as a whole, the fans and the foundation. It's just family, isn't it? We're here to support each other, and that's what you see now with the vets that you've got, Nick and Scott, that are coming back, helping the new recruits in and supporting them through the journey. And that's what I find amazing about this project, Fit Rovers and Fit Rovers Stadium. Yeah,
picking up on that, I think that's testament to you two, your two personalities and the type of people you are, that we're now going into our fourth year and you're still involved. Jan obviously still works at the foundation. Tim's not here. Tim's working elsewhere now. But whenever we've asked you to be involved, but whether it be turning up on a night or a weekend, or as Scott will speak to later about doing the things we're doing this week, you've both always offered your time up. And you've seen some of these people, I think, change drastically over the 3 years. You've seen some of these people that you had in play on the pitch year one that are still involved 4 years on. I'm just going over there. I knew Pop and Chris didn't last that long. Thought I'd get away with it.
Going back with what you were saying there, Nick, I think obviously overall, apart from the lifestyle and social, it's the enjoyment about the thing. And all the participants that do come back, they've got the enjoyment and everything like that come back. But not only of them, me and Jan, everything you do and everything you set up, we really enjoy it. And if we didn't enjoy it, we'd be a little bit standoff to come back. But whatever you've done and whatever you've done, even if it's challenging between myself and Jan, that it's always been enjoyable, and that's part and parcel. And credit to you two again. That that's why we come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go on now and talk about one of our flagship events, the Play on the Pitch situation that I think now 80 men who have graduated the course have had the opportunity to play in. On its own, a massive experience for, again, particularly fans of the football club, but we recently put something out on the anniversary of the Play on the Pitch, and people who were fans of other clubs and not even maybe fans of football are coming forward and saying, look, you don't have to be a fan of Donny. This is an outstanding experience to play a 90-minute match with people from the course who you've become friends with, on the Keepmoat pitch, using the changing rooms and sort of getting that VIP experience. And obviously we invited you two guys to manage the respective teams, Tim Ryan and Tim Budtz. And you even promoted it for us. I can remember you going down to Tracks FM, and also you selected the song, didn't you, when you went down? So you told them, tell us how it went. You told them a bit about Play On Pitch, and then you've got to explain the song to us as well.
Come on, Tim, Shakira.
I think that was my change song. I can't remember why we chose that song, but was it the Car Journeys?
I remember. Car Journeys.
With Tim and I, we've obviously been in Stalybridge for a couple of years and in Buxton for a couple of years playing together, and we've been in car school for those number of years. And there's a couple of songs that when they come on in the car school, and that Shakira song is one of them that we all just go mental to and just sing along to. So that's why we chose that song when we went down to Tracks FM. Yeah.
Waka Waka, if anyone wants to listen to it. It's called.
Bit of an odd song choice.
First event, though, if you remember, I think we have 400 and I think it was 31 people attended that first ever Play on the Pitch. And like I said, this was something that didn't have a track record. We'd never done it before. I think myself and Scott would have been absolutely over the moon if we'd have got 100 people there to watch it. But to get 431 people there, I think it was red hot as well. And it's sort of, the build-up were huge. You two played like a massive role in build-up, from sort of picking who goes in which changing rooms to who or which kit. It is a massive event for some of these people, like you mentioned, Tim, that have probably been Doncaster fans for all their life. And then they get that opportunity to work alongside you and Jan, play on the pitch, put the kit on. It's huge. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience that first year out, what you remember?
What were players like?
I can start, obviously. So some of the lads, we've obviously, you set up some training sessions before as well, didn't you? So we actually got to meet the squad maybe a month and a half prior to the play on the pitch, so we could actually see their ability, see what positions they played in. Did a few training sessions with them, and on the day, obviously, Tim and I have played in the professional game, so we know what comes with that match day experience. If it's a pre-match meal, it's your drinks at halftime, it's music before, music after, if you win, etc. But for these men who's potentially had season ticket holders for years and gone and watched Rovers or other teams, they don't know what a home match day entitles. So to see the look and the smile and the happiness on their faces, like when they're turning up in the suits, in the tie, proper match day, into get the music on the changing room, everyone's bouncing, out for a warm-up, team photo, back in, have your little fruit and a drink before the game, a proper match day. I mean, it was just unbelievable. What you do, guys, then after, there's obviously a social event after where you have a bit of food and a drink and just to celebrate the game, don't you? And I know you guys, Nick and Scott, I know you thank me and Tim for taking part, but I can honestly hand on my heart, I'm just honoured to be part of obviously a game like that and a kind of event like that, because it's not every day you got asked to do that. And as you said, your program is changing these people's lives. So long may it continue.
A lot of, I think something else what's key as well is a lot of these people have never played never played for a team.
No.
You know, so they've not had that sort of non-league experience or being part of an actual football team. And I think that's something, what's special about the project is that straight away they're made to feel part of something. That first night they get the T-shirt, they put the T-shirt on, and that's it. We've never told people that every week you'll come to our session, you have to wear that Fit Rovers shirt. They automatically put that on. It's being part of something. And then to, like you said, then to be treated like a footballer for a good week in the build-up, and then that day to walk out, sort of music blaring, you've got all your family there, we have mascots. It's a huge, huge thing for some of these people. Tim, have you any standout memories?
Yeah, very, very similar to Jan, obviously. What I did once we got the lads into the changing room was I sort of ramped the tempo up to make it into a real feel of a first team game really. And I was putting an emphasis not to lose the game, and saying to the lads, don't leave anything in here. And obviously they've gone out there and they've given every single thing they've got. Win, lose or draw, they took away massive memories from the game. And it's one of them where they've all got a chance to play. As Jan was saying there, some of them might have been watching Donny for 40 years, but they've never had the chance to go on Bellevue or the Keepmoat Stadium. So we just actually the whole day and even the training sessions before as real as we could be with the participants. And obviously, the levels of fitness from starting the Fit Rovers all the way up to the play on the pitch, their fitnesses have gained and grown. So, they give everything they got and made it a real experience for both me and Jan as well.
Yeah.
It's changed massively as well, I think, because I think your team, first year, did you not have a song? You had, I think, one of your meetings, John Paul had wrote a song. Were it your team?
Yeah, it was... we got everybody in the common room. I can't remember it word for word, obviously, but
John Paul,
John Paul got sat at the end of the common room. We all sat round and
guitar.
I did a sort of motivational speech to all the lads, and got everybody tuned in and focused, which was brilliant. I mean, they all took to it brilliantly. And then the big man stood up at the end and got his guitar out and started singing about Tim Ryan and all the players' names, and all the lads just stood about. Whoa, brilliant.
And then I think music this year, I think year 2, we changed again. We had, something that I said I wanted to keep this year. Dave Sturdy and Graham Sutherland, year 2, both played Abide With Me before kickoff.
Yeah.
So, as an event, it is getting bigger and bigger. And it's that going back, you says, I think some of these experiences for these men are things that will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
Oh, will, Nick. Sorry to interrupt. Obviously,
No,
Tim's not down at the Keepmoat Stadium daily or weekly now, but obviously by working down there and working in the office where I'm at the minute, when your participants arrive for a session, whether that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, obviously say hello to them all the time. And we speak about the play on the pitch and how they want to play on it again if they had the chance. And it's just like a family feeling, isn't it? It's like meeting a family member or relative or something like that. And it's just a breath of fresh air. So, yeah.
And if I remember, we talked, again, we spoke about this quite a lot with Kirsty last week regarding the Fit Rovers ladies. The commitment of the club. So year 1, the idea where we spoke to Andy Butler and said, look, is there any chance you could turn up on Sunday and just go into both sort of changing rooms prior to kick-off and just do a little bit of a team talk with Tim and Jan, just as sort of, I think Andy was club captain at the time, just to explain what it's going to be like and to enjoy it, things like that. And then on the day, I got a phone call from him and saying, I'm on my way, I'm going to play. So I'm sort of panicking. I said, what do you mean? So I'm going to play. I'm thinking, I don't know if you're allowed. So I'm panicking then thinking, I don't know if he's allowed to, what happens if something happens? So I think Jim Lord was the chief executive. I rang Jim and said, look, Andy Butler's phone and told me he's playing. What do I do? He says, I don't know, just let him play.
He played 45 minutes for Jan and about 10 minutes for me.
I knew you.
There's a few sour grapes about that. I've got a message here that went out. So the event that we're running at the minute, Team Budtz against Team Ryan. This is an actual comment that went on the group last night. Just wondering if Team Budtz are slightly down on points at half-time this week. Will Andy Butler come on and win one event and put another one on a plate for us? So
there you go. I think it's by default.
It's not about what you know, it's who you know. Go on, Andy.
So, again, that though, just again showing community club for Andy to rock up on a Sunday and sort of just turn out for both teams. And again, it adds to that experience that, like I said, at the time they were still playing for Doncaster captain, that you might have never sort of played football before. You've just played on the Keepmoat at the side of Andy Butler or against Andy Butler. which again, it just adds to that sort of wow factor again for these blokes that took part in that day.
I think Andy's obviously sort of decade younger than me and Jan and what have you, but he's the same sort of character, obviously shown now with the bells and what have you, but he's the same sort of character. He's a community person, and he's one of them ones that always put his time and effort into other people and obviously projects with the club that he's playing for and, you know, and obviously the town he's from. So credit to him, and it was brilliant to have him about, to be fair. I think he scored for both of us, did he?
Yeah, I think he
did. He headed for me and scored back 4 for you, so...
Well, Andy's sort of, like we mentioned again, Andy's back at the bells, and again, like you said, you know, being committed to helping out and things like that. So they've agreed that they're going to do, Andy and I think it's Nick and some of the girls from the bells, they're going to lead the football session for the ladies' course for every course for the foreseeable. So again, I think that is something that we are very privileged and lucky to have at the football club, that the club is so supportive from sort of top to bottom, really.
I think it starts with Nick. It obviously starts with from our playing days. I can only speak for myself, but I know the club, the ethos and the way they go about things is that you're trying to get your players out to do as many school visits as possible, etc. So when it comes to, like, for myself, when I finished playing, it was just ingrained in me that it's all about community and giving back, etc. I enjoy it, but do you know what I mean? I'll get as much as the participants get out of it. But someone like Andy, he's been into several school visits, visit primary school, secondary school, promoting the club and speaking to young people. So it just comes natural to him. But as you said, that's down to the club Doncaster and the football club to obviously promote that within players and instill that in them.
He's done a few other bits with us as well, Nick, hasn't he? Some of our more difficult visits, let's say, and bits like that. And there's certain people that you know you can trust with stuff like that, and Andy's definitely one of them. We spoke a lot about play on the pitch and the event that's going on at the minute, just to kind of update people on what's going on. So Tim's captain in the first year, Nidge, unfortunately passed away later that year, a terrible accident at work, and that was something that we really felt amongst everyone, I think, involved with Fit Rovers. And a lot of goods come out of that. One of the things being is the sort of not memorial, but like celebration of life event that we held at Armthorpe Welfare. So Jan, I can remember you played in goals. I refereed. I knew that before I turned up, but I refereed. And Tim, I don't think you were available, but you did.
I played.
Oh, you played.
No, Tim played.
You also played.
Oh,
because I can remember having to tell you off a few times. You also pulled a few strings for us as well, didn't you? With a few of your old mates and got a couple of lads.
We were playing was it Nidge's son, under 19s or something, Wheatley. So I'm thinking, Jesus, all us lot at our age will end up pulling hamstrings and calves. So I got Ricky Ravenhill and a couple of other lads that are slightly younger than me, Jan, to play. I mean, the game finished 2-2, didn't it? So it was one of them ones where I think we were hanging on for a draw at long periods. Jan made a couple of good saves. But for a game like that to finish as a draw, it was a brilliant sort of a way of ending for Nidge and his son and his family and what have you.
I'm sure there's a controversial goal, wasn't there, Scott? With you being the ref, I'm sure the goalkeeper got fouled.
I think that
was that. I'm sure I got fouled.
I think that was that 12-year-old Jan that knocked you through the net.
And I think it's 14.
I do actually. The game might have finished the draw, but I do seem to remember them letting us score an equaliser.
Yes.
Oh, they did, yeah.
But no, it were a good day, and obviously it brought together a lot of things that were important to Nidge in Wheatley Wanderers, the junior football team, Retro Rovers walking football as well, that held a few games and gave some of our guys a bit of a lesson at walking football beforehand, and then obviously the big fundraising game afterwards. And then another opportunity, I know the circumstances weren't the best, but another opportunity for some of our participants to play alongside ex-Doncaster Rovers players. And yeah, like I said, the circumstances weren't what we would have hoped for, but it were a good kind of it served the purpose for what it wanted to, and I think it was well received by everyone. Go on, Tim.
Just going back to like Mikic captain. I thought, I'd look around at my squad on the time, the year it was and what have you, and I thought he sort of epitomised everything to do with Fit Rovers. He never missed a session, whether it was a Tuesday morning, Thursday night, wherever you were, he was always there. If anyone was unsure of what to do, Nidge was shining light towards it. That's why, I made him my captain that year, and obviously his legacy stays on, with us now, and that's why it's always a pleasure for me and Jan to be involved in a Nidge Row Memorial competition, game on the pitch, whatever it is, because of what, Nidge was.
Yeah. So last year we did the first Nidge Row Memorial, which were a rematch between your two teams from the first year. I can't remember what the score. It were quite a comprehensive victory for one team.
It was a draw last year, wasn't it?
No, the game before, not the game on the pitch.
Yeah,
the game before.
Yeah, we won't mention that.
I can't remember that far back.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there that day, so I've got an excuse. But that doesn't matter anyway. The result doesn't matter. This year, obviously, with the current coronavirus pandemic, we don't know when, if we'll be able to run a football match this year. So what we decided to do is put together a week-long calendar of kind of virtual events that you two kick-started on Monday with your rock, paper, scissors challenge. And yeah, Tim came out on top on that one.
You can remember that, Tim? Yeah.
Yeah, that was only a couple of hours ago.
Wow.
Yeah, since then we've had a few other bits. So Nick did a quiz, and it's all been, again, Team Ryan against Team Budtz, but other people getting involved as well, and just showing that even though we can't do that match, that we can still sort of remember someone who's missed at Fit Rovers. And yeah, I think it's been well received, and it's great that, again, you two can still be involved. I'm sure you'll be getting messages off your team members asking for tips and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're still in the closed Facebook group, Team Budtz closed Facebook group, years after the first event. So it's perfect. I enjoyed.
Yeah, but Tim, you're in the lead at the minute.
Yeah, obviously it makes a change for me at this moment in time to be ahead of Jan. Watching Rovers page and again, all the sort of challenges you've done so far, the fun factor's been brilliant. I can just imagine now, envisaging my head now, Tony jumping on them balloons and nearly falling over in his back. So the fun factor of all the participants, the fun factor's massive. It's great to watch on the Fit Rovers page.
Yeah, and that's going to, hopefully, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, we're going to bring that to a close, do the official sort of memorial bits, and then see which team ends up coming out on top. But yeah, it's been a good start, and I think I've got a captain for each team. So Tim, Bob Allen's leading your team at this event, and Kenny Raggett for Jan Budtz. But when I got the list through for the balloon popping challenge, and I saw that Tony had been selected for Team Ryan, I did question the team ethos when you're letting one of your oldest participants bounce around on his backside in his living room floor.
It looked like he was sitting on a whoopee cushion.
And he got wooden floor as well. He hasn't even got any cushioning. But no, you're cracking effort, and I think that's it. Whatever they can, they'll put their all into, whether it be popping the balloon with a backside, or promoting the course, or trying to score a goal during a match, or whatever it is.
I think Scott as well. I think the team ethos that the participants have got, not only just with me and Jan, that the togetherness with them lot. They've got that sort of team ethos, whether it's Team Budtz or Team Ryan, that they don't want to lose. They don't want to let their teammate down, whether it's balloon popping, drinking a pint of water, or whatever it is. They don't want to lose. They want to get that chalk on the board, which is brilliant.
We have had people questioning validity of some of the scores and things like that. We did the quiz the other night, and people were questioning some of the answers. I think you two have really sparked off that competitiveness, because that's, for me, that's one of my favourite bits about the sort of week and the build up to the play on pitch and play on the pitches. obviously you two are really, really close, but it is still so competitive just between you two. The first year when we did the challenges, that is my favourite bet, just UVM. That is my favourite bet.
I thought that I was the most competitive person in the world until I met Tim. I think we're at the same level, but it's sometimes a good combination and sometimes a bad combination. We've had a few table tennis matches where it's kicked off a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Like the table tennis, I'll never forget the argument of Jan accusing Tim of just trying to hit it as hard as physically possible. Tim accusing Jan of just being boring and just hitting ball back and not trying to win points. And then I remember, I think it was at Christmas, somebody had got one of the little table tennis things that you can put on your own table. And you sat in the education office and played it on a coffee table. And it was absolutely ridiculous to get to a point where you were then arguing.
I think the laptop went across the room.
And then arguing that who'd go and get the ball because somebody had hit it and what other one would just refuse to go and get up the ball from the other side of the office.
I think, what's it, Nick? I just think with being in sort of professional game, Doncaster, whoever it is, I just think if you've not got that sort of competitive edge, I just think you're not really giving everything to it. And obviously getting a little bit older now and friendship with Jan, brilliant, you know what I mean? We're close friends and what have you. But whether it's me against Scott, golf, I play Scott, with golf, we play with Jim, Tom and everybody like that. I still want to do the best you can and still want to win everything we can. So, whether it's with my kids or whether it's with my football teams or anything like that, I just feel whether it's like, as I say, with Fit Rovers, we did it in the changing room. I put the emphasis, we don't want to lose, we want to win this, we want to beat this team, but we want to get one over on that day.
And I think that's one of the things that we have to we watch. You we're selecting squads for both, and you're thinking, I don't know whether he'd be able to take Tim, or he might or so and so might thrive better off the arm round the shoulder rather than the kick up the arse type leadership.
When obviously it's an inclusive project and the players are selected based on their attendance and commitment to Fit Rovers rather than footballing ability. But can you remember Tim kicking off that Jan had not changed his goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I can remember that.
Yeah.
That's apparently why he lost.
Tim played both goalkeepers year one. Jan only played one goalkeeper.
I just think my goalkeeper was more suited to a left back, left wing, so why not utilise him there? We want to win, don't we?
In Jan's defence, we had someone who said they'd go at nets until day and then didn't.
And then decided not to.
But yeah, that competitiveness comes out.
Tim still goes on about it.
Yeah.
And I was giving everybody equal game time, me.
Exactly. And then year two finished last year, were it 2 apiece?
Yeah.
And were you winning? Yeah.
Tim, did you score? I was 2-1 up. I think I was 2-1 up and Jan scored with about 5 to play.
No, we all the way.
No, surely. I was up, Tim.
Oh, yeah, I was up. Ben Waters.
Yeah, scored with about 5 minutes.
Yeah, one of the young lads. Yeah. Like Andy Butler scoring for me the first year. Get a young lad on. No, honestly, Nick, Scott, how nice was it to see the two captains lift the trophy together? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially, I think there's the sort of, that's again, you have these sort of, these standout moments or reasons behind certain things what not a lot of people will know. And last year's captains were Graham and Tony. And for people that don't know the background, both of Graham and Tony should have played in year one. And Tony was ill.
The balloon popping Tony.
Yeah, balloon popping Tony was ill. I think a couple of weeks prior to the game, and the week before game one, Graham broke his leg. Not in our sessions. Let's just get that clear. Not in our session. And what we spoke to both them people, both of them would have played, both absolutely devastated, thinking their opportunity to play on Keepmoat, to play for either Tim or Jan had gone. And I remember sitting with Scott and speaking to both people and saying, look, we'll support you for the next 12 months. Whatever it is you need, we'll be there to help you out. And then just set your targets next year is play on the pitch next year. And I thought it would have fitted. That was the best way. What we could have done is, it is for people at that age to get either an illness or an injury as serious as what they both had. Nobody, I don't think, would have questioned them, saying, "Look, that's it. I'm not. It's not for me anymore. This, I'm too old to carry on." And they didn't. They stuck with us. They stuck at it, and that were the reason why they were both the perfect candidates to be captains for both sides. And then, like Jan said, for it to finish a draw, and for both of those two to go up, lift the trophy, which were presented by Nidge's wife Marie and Aaron and Ryan, Nidge's two sons. Again, sort of, I suppose, that's what the project is about, really. So I think that's a good little story, that.
Yeah, the captain reveal videos, Nick.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested, we'll see if we can add them to the end of this, because they really highlight the journey that both captains have been on, and their links, and obviously how proud they were to be selected as captain. So we'll see if we can add them into end.
But it's just stuff like that, though, that, again, the lengths that we go to make this experience so big for these participants. Like you said, the reveals, like we did the reveals of the managers the first year, the filming with Tim and Jan. We did it again for year 2. We did the players get their own sort of little video for the squad announcement. So it's not just we all rock up on a day, there's a kit slung in a kit bag on the floor at changing rooms and you pull your own kit out. It's a massive event, and a lot of time goes into that. It probably takes me and Scott and Lauren, Lewis 6-7 weeks building up to get everything ready for what is effectively an hour and a half of football.
I think what's it as well, Nick, Jan picked it right at the very start that, even after the game's finished, like last year it was a draw 0-0, going to the Bellevue bar, a little bit of a presentation, and that's the time, maybe someone from week 1 can meet somebody from week 20 or whatever it is. And, it's one of them ones where that's where everyone gets a pint in their hand or whatever, a drink in the hand. And, the sort of camaraderie of Fit Rovers, meeting me and Jan and representing, Doncaster Rovers and Club Doncaster. That's the whole thing about it. And as I say, the social event in the bar at the end of it, when all the work's done and, you and Scott and yourself and your team have got a little bit of not downtime, but a little bit of a time to go, a reflection time to go. That went brilliant again. All the participants and the families and everybody like that are in there, and and the atmosphere is just really, really harmonious, and everyone's enjoying themselves, so it's great.
Things like that are good for us because we get to meet people's families. So some of these guys we've worked with for 3 years and seen them every week and don't really know much about them outside of Fit Rovers, but I had a lot of interesting chats on that first year when I was there with people's wives, and just listening to he's always going on about it. When Thursdays, he's gutted if he can't go on a Thursday. So that's good to see that side of it as well. And I think we had a steward, didn't we, Nick, at the second year's game? So because of the number of people in the crowd, we had to get a couple of stewards on, and with that sort of captured by the event that he signed up and completed the course, the 12-week course that we run at a later date. So it works for us on so many levels, and it's such a good event to have. And fingers crossed, despite the cancellation, we can get that reorganised and get one. Because if not, we'll be getting asked a lot of questions, Nick.
Yeah. We need to get a bag on. Come on, guys.
Yeah, we need to get one. We definitely. It would be good if we could try and get something done this year. If not, it just makes sort of next year's even bigger, and it just puts this sort of emphasis on people wanting to take part, that you have to turn up every week, and it makes that.
Next
creates
year,
that
Nick,
niche. Yes.
Next year, obviously, just thinking out loud, that if in the number of participants you get, I mean, me and Jan have had squads of 20, so there's 40 people in and around the teams. Couldn't you do, I don't know if you've done it or not, obviously I've left now, but sort of Fit Rovers competition on the pitch and put 2 sides and maybe 7 aside, 8 aside, and different teams from different, different weeks of Fit Rovers, just get on the pitch and make it a full day?
We've talked about something like that before, about sort of making it a
the
bigger
number of
event.
participants then you could raise to, say, 100 people.
I know.
Couldn't you?
Yeah. So there's always, like you said, we're always looking to sort of evolve it and make things bigger. So that is something I think we would take into consideration this year. We might have to next year to just try and get everybody getting that experience, catch up, so to speak. But I'm hoping that we can try and pull something off this year, and just get something done this year.
I think Tim will be itching to get a win, won't he? So
third year lucky.
No,
Could be going, and could be coming in on form though. With looking at this week,
we're only on Wednesday, Nick. Don't worry, we're only on Wednesday.
And we
we'll
are
come
only
strong.
on Wednesday. And what
Andy
Scott? What events? Andy Budtz. What events have we got still for this week?
There is the wall sit challenge, press up challenge, and plank challenge, and then we've got charades tomorrow night. That'll be interesting. Oh no, that's Friday night. There's also the live sessions that are going on at 7 o'clock online. So our usual session time for the men, we've took those sessions online. Every member of each team that turns up to that session is going to get some points awarded. So it's going to be important that they tune in and take part in that. There's a penny stacking challenge, how many pennies you can stack on top of each other. And then on Saturday, when we do the presentations, there's a couple of live events that are really going to swing it either way. Darts bullseye challenge, and then golf ball keep it up. So there's the potential there.
Tim, I'm looking at your face, and you were fancying yourself for darts and the golf ball keep it up, weren't you?
Tim's already done it. Send it through.
I can just see him still thinking, I can definitely get that. I can probably win that one.
Like that with darts. He does love a game.
He does. He's not bad as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure about golf ball keep it up though, Tim. You're more of a distance man.
To be fair,
I'm more of a partner at golf, Scott. I'm just taking part of that.
To be fair, Tim, I can remember. I don't know if you can remember when you used to work for the foundation. I have actually beat you in darts once. Can you remember when we dressed up as the one call birds?
Oh yeah,
I've seen that.
We dressed up as it's still on YouTube. We dressed up as the one call birds. And you had to throw darts with these flappy wings, and it was near enough impossible. But I actually did think I beat you in that. I wouldn't beat you on a normal dartboard.
We will find that clip. That clip will come on.
No,
don't, because we had to blow out the cake, birthday cake as well.
Tim's burnt it. He destroyed it. But no, I think that brings us to a close, really, doesn't it? Unless anyone's got anything to add. Thanks to Nick, and obviously thanks to our guests Tim and Jan as well. We hope you've enjoyed listening. The results of the Nidge Road Memorial, for anyone who's interested, we'll post on our social media challenges the final score, and you'll be able to see who come out victorious. If you're watching this before Saturday, then comment and let us know which team you think's going to win. Do you think Team Ryan or Team Budtz is going to come out victorious? And once again, we'll be back next week with a totally new topic. Anyone's name who's been mentioned, please don't take offence. And yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Nick.
Cheers, fellas.